Joseph.
Hi everybody, welcome to Miss Nick's math class. We are excited to be starting a brand new school year. I have an awesome group of new 4th graders who are ready to rock and roll in math. Now, today we are starting with our very first unit, which is place value. So we will be reviewing the things we've learned in place value this week, because tomorrow we have a test. So please pay close attention, because you will see this information on your test tomorrow. To all of my parents who might be watching, this is a great way to help your students study or help reinforce the things they're practicing at home. So please feel free to keep watching. And to all of my random people who happen to be watching that maybe aren't students or parents, welcome. Come on in and learn some math with us. You're more than welcome. We are starting with place value because that is the basis of all of our math. We need to understand our place value to get our questions correct and to be able to solve the problems we're given. So the first thing we're going to do is discuss all of our different place values and list them out. So my class, my awesome Block C class, is going to help me do this. My smallest place value that I am always going to start with is called what?
Ones.
The ones. Good. My next place value is called, besides bigger than the ones, is my, let me hear you.
Is the tens?
The tens, thank you. After the tens comes the hundreds. Next is the 1000s, we'll say, just to make it clear. After the 1000s, what do we have? The 10,000s. After the 10,000s,
Hundreds.
there we go. Do you notice a pattern yet? Ones, tens, hundreds, 1,000s, 10,000s, 100,000s. And what about my very last place value for 4th grade? What is the biggest place value we need to know for 4th grade? What is it called? It's as much money as Miss Nick wants?
Millions.
Millions. Millions. Now, we've identified all of our place values. We know that we split up our place values in groups of 3. So, this first one, ones, tens, hundreds, is my first group. What is the name we use for these groups? What is the name we use?
Periods.
Periods. And so since this is the ones, tens, and hundreds, this is the ones period. Now, what do we use to separate each period and make it clear which group is which? What do we use, sir?
Commas.
Commas. So I'm going to put a big fat comma in between each 3 numbers. So 1 comma goes here. Now I'm going to count my next period. My next period is the 1,000s, 10,000s, 100,000s. And in that period, I need to put another comma to separate it from the millions. So a comma goes here. My last period is the millions period. We are only going to use the 1 millions this year, but it would continue going on and on and on into the 10 millions and the 100 millions, and then it would jump to the billions and continue forever. So again, ones period, thousands period, and this one is our millions period. This is important so we know where our place values need to land. Now, the next thing we've been practicing is the difference between value and place value. These are questions that you will see on a test and definitely on the FSA. So when we see the word value, and it's asking us for the value of a digit, it wants us to tell them how much is that digit worth? What is it worth? So if I ask you for the value of 5 tenths, the value of 5 tenths, who can tell me what that value is going to be? What is the value of 5 tenths?
500.
5 tenths, let's think it. That might be a little too much. That would be 5 hundredths.
50.
50 would be the correct answer. 5 tenths, the value will be 50. Now, that's how much it's worth. If I had, for example, 1,225, and I wanted to know the value of the 2 in that number, the value would be 200. Now, to go along with the value is place value. They sound super similar. They sound like one and the same, but they mean two different things. Value is how much it's worth. Place value is where it's located. Is it in the ones, the tens, the hundreds? Where in the order of numbers does it land? So place value equals our location of the number. Place, it's right there in the name. Now, when we're answering place values, they might ask us something like, name the place value that is underlined. 725,609. If they want us to name the underlined place value, our answer needs to be a place value. So what would the answer to this question be? What is the place value of the underlined number?
10,000.
The 10,000s. Very good. 10,000s. Very good. Now the last thing that we need to know and practice for the test tomorrow is your expanded form. It's one of the 3 ways that we write out our numbers, and it's one of the trickier ones. We already know how to write our numbers in standard form like this. Now we're going to do the expanded form. So for expanded form, I'm going to move over to whiteboard to make it a little easier for you to follow. So for our expanded form, we are stretching out our big number, something like this, into each individual place value. So if I have the number 725,609, then I am going to write that in each place value one at a time. Here's the trick. I could write it by looking, okay, 7 is in the 100,000s place, so my first number is 700,000. The 2 is in the 10,000s place, so I could automatically think, oh, that must make it 20,000. But sometimes that gets tricky. So here's the easier way to do it. Write your number up top. This is my big number. Then I bring down the first digit. The 7 comes down, and everything after it turns into a 0. Then I move over to the next place value and do the same. So the 2 comes down, and everything after it turns into a 0. Same goes on for each digit. So the 5 with each 0. The 6 comes down. The 0 comes down. It doesn't really have any value, so it doesn't change anything. And the 9 comes down. So once I've split it up like that into each place value, it makes it easier for me to then write it as my answer on a test. So if I am trying to answer what is the expanded form of my number, I'm going to write it like this. Expanded form. And I'm going to write each place value one at a time. So that's going to be 700,000 plus 20,000 plus 5,000 plus 600 plus 9. So my expanded form should look like this when I turn it in on my test or write it as my answer. Hopefully this helped you review a little bit about the difference between value, which should be written in a number answer, and place value, which should be written in word form based on the place value the number is in. For expanded form, you're breaking it down based on the value for each place value and then adding it together.
Amir Powell, please report to the front office for dismissal. Amir Powell, please report to the front office for dismissal.
So, hopefully this review will help you ace the test tomorrow. If you're still feeling fuzzy, I'm going to try and put up another one with a little more details about our number names and the other things we have learned this week. But these are your major keys. So study this tonight, review your notes, and I know you're going to do great tomorrow. Good luck, everybody. I'll see you in the morning.